Haha, let's go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? So, this lecture is called The Bright Triad. In a way, it's a satire of the Dark Triad, and I really want to make this video because I really believe that a human being, in order to succeed in life, should have those three in check. And it is the exact opposite of the kind of the Machiavellian approach that I see a lot of people have nowadays, meaning like 48 laws of power. I study Machiavelli. I have like to go to my enemy to do this, and meanwhile they are surrounded by bums and by uneducated fools. And who gives an F? Seriously, about these people. So, with this kind of approach in life, not only you are going to attract great people in your life, but you should also be able to become a great person. And once you are, I believe that you already are a great person, but you know what I mean. You turn into a jewel, into a diamond. Once you become a diamond, then you will be able to attract other diamonds in your life and push away the dirt, the dirty people. You will do it like automatically. So, without even trying, without even giving the energy. So, what are the three things, three cycles, let's say, three balls, not two balls, three, that a human being must, in a way, master, in a way, know how to use them in order to succeed and to live a beautiful and happy life. And I also strongly believe that it is not like a video game that it ends, you know what I mean? And after it ends and you got those three in check, then you are like, okay. You always have like to work on them, you know what I mean? You always have to work on them. But in the beginning, depends on what level you are, it might take a lot of energy. And as you progress and you progress and you progress, after, let's say, years and years and years, it will take less energy, but you should always have them in check. And the first thing that I'm gonna start is like this one right here. Confidence. So, as a human being, you need to have confidence in life. You need to have confidence in whatever you do, because if you do not have confidence, then let's say that there is a project that you take, right? And you say, oh, I want to start a business, right? If you do not have a confidence, you are going to start a business that it is not what you are meant to do. And it might be a business that it is meant to fail. So, a lot of people might tell you, right? In order to start a business and to be successful, you have like to work like 18 hours a day, like the classic approach that a lot of people here on YouTube have. And I see it like everywhere, but you have to work like really hard and all that BS, right? But the thing is that nobody ever questions you if you really made the right choice. You know what I mean? It is the same thing as, if you want like to get into a relationship, right? You have like to be there for the woman, or like the woman to be there like for the man, etc., and you have like to give your everything and that. But if you made the wrong choice of the person, right, then as much as you give, you don't get back. You know what I mean? As much as attention you give, love you give, the person is not for you. The same, as much as work you do, the business is not for you, so you are working on the wrong business. You are in a relationship with the wrong person. You're whatever, right? You get it. So, confidence. You need to have confidence. You need to be able to believe in yourself. You know what I mean? to have total and absolute belief in yourself that you can do things and you can acquire and you can make the right choices in your life. So, confidence, how do you do that? It's a tricky thing. And I used to judge a lot of people who would teach that thing, but in my opinion, in order to build the confidence in you, plus a lot of people, who made the right choices in their life because they don't have confidence issues, they might create a business, right? They have the confidence to go into that field, and they might work like 4 hours or 6 hours or 8 hours a day, be chill, be happy, all that, and become millionaires in 2 years, right? Why? Because they made the right choices, because they didn't have confidence issues. Or they might get into a relationship with a person and they have fully trusted their hearts to them. The other person is reciprocating their feelings. Everything is great. Bedroom lovemaking is awesome. These two people, they know each other. They accept each other. They accept each other's imperfections. They are there together. And the person doesn't or didn't gave his everything, like how many people, oh, you don't give me attention, you know what I mean? So he or she made the right choice. Confidence, this is a very, 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 very good trick to do, and I will explain like that. It's like, imagine yourself, I always say that we are like biological, let's call ourselves biological machines, right? We are like a computer, but in biological computer, okay? And sorry for my English, but meaning we also work with programming, right? And it is what you put inside yourself and what you accept, okay? So if, let's say, every waking hour, whenever it just pops up in your mind, just say inside of you, you know what I mean? I'm unstoppable. I am the best. I'm the greatest. I am capable of doing anything I set myself to, right? I am a genius. I am handsome. I am this. I can do whatever I choose to. Or let's say you are working on a project, okay? I can make that project. You know what I mean? I can make, let's say for me, I create a song, right? And that song is a little bit difficult and all that. Oh, I will finish it. Yeah, of course I will finish it. And I will create the best version of it. You know what I mean? Or you want to go and talk up to a girl, right? And you should always tell to yourself, of course I can talk to girls. I can go and talk to that girl very easily. Or I can talk to whoever I want. You know what I mean? Whatever you have in your life, you have to say inside of you, or when you wake up, right? You wake up, boom, and you say to yourself my life is great. Inside of you, right? Inside of you. You can say it without saying it like I say it right now. I have unstoppable energy. And repeat it again and again and again. Maybe write it in a piece of paper. But it's called affirmations. But the thing with affirmations is first of all, you have to know and to be able to understand that they are true. You know what I mean? But it takes time. It's like in the gym, right? The first time, let's say that you go to a gym, right? And you are skinny, a skinny dude. You have never lifted weights, right? And of course you will not go and lift the big weights. You are going to lift the small weights, right? And you are weak and all that. So the same goes with affirmations. In the beginning, you might not believe them, right? Your subconscious, everything inside of you will go crazy. What? You are what? Genius. You are what? Handsome. You what? You have unstoppable energy, my boy. You can't get up from. You know what I mean? You are this. You are that. Who do you think you are? your whole nervous system will start to attack you. It's like in when you lift weights and you are weak. Oh my God, like I'm in pain and all that. But you have to keep continuing. Desire. You have a desire, and you repeat repetition, again, and after years, you will start. Let's say like these guys. They are like, woo, you know what I mean? So confidence, but confidence without humility, it turns into arrogance. And when it comes to humility, being humble, this is also a tricky thing to do. And also a tricky thing to practice, right? Humility. Being humble, humbleness. A lot of people might call it humbleness. What is being humble? Well, I didn't wrote a word right here because I want like for you to not see it before like everything. It's not about being humble to people. You know what I mean? Like, let's say that you have like all that confidence, right? And you are like, wow. And you walk down the street and you're like, oh my God, man, I feel amazing, right? Wow, this Renaldo Zaimi lecture kind of works, all right? And it might be like it might be just a couple of days, but wow, I feel great. Now you feel great, and someone who doesn't have confidence is like, well, who does he think he is, right? And he might be like, who do you think you are? You arrogant piece of shit, right? And he tries like to in a way to humble you, you know what I mean? Or there is like another dude like, and he's jealous of you, and he might like curse you in front of women, so that he tries like to humiliate you. It happened to me. Yeah, I went like to a gym right here, and he did that bastard, that piece of shit. And people will try like to humiliate you in a way so that they will make you feel less than what you are. You know what I mean? But what these idol worshippers, they do not know is that for you as a human being, the only way for you to be humble is God. I will not go into the religious kind of thing, right? I will touch the spiritual aspect of God. So, being humble under God, because God gave you everything. And a lot of people, I don't know like who is watching like the video, a lot of you might be like atheists, a lot of you might be like theologically misdirected, a lot of you might be like I don't know what you might like believe in philosophy and all that. I don't know, but I strongly believe that there is a higher power, right? There is a higher power, and that's why I want to touch just the spiritual aspect of it, because then it will be like a 20-hour kind of lecture. But the spiritual aspect of it, God, right? God, there is like a higher power, God, that God has created everything. Now, if you think that all that it was like a bing bang, boom bang, bagaboong, all that the scientists that they say, and then everything is just random and nothing has a meaning in this life and all that, I don't believe that. I believe that for everything, for whatever happens, there is always a meaning that we humans are not able to identify and to understand. And as above, so below. And I believe that there is also something that happens like above us in a soul level that then takes form in the 3D world, right? As we live right now, 3D, all that. But we are not aware of it. It's like a video game, right? It's like in a video game. I used to play like these MMORPG video games that it's called Lineage 2. I don't know, like if you have played it, but it was an open world, right? And you had like your player, and it was like, but that player, if you thought about it, when you would tell him like, go there, do that, work on this, hit life potions or whatever, that player, that tiny player, little player, didn't have the awareness that you, me, was controlling it. And in fact, it didn't have an awareness at all. It was just whatever I would do and whatever I would say to it, like I would chat, you know what I mean? And I would hit enter and it would just like talk. So I believe that the same thing happens to us. Life is like an open world video game, and our souls, in a way, they play, our avatars. And through the help of God, right, the creator of this open world, because in a way we co-create, but at the end of the day, even our desires, our wants, our needs, do we really believe that in a way they are, how to say it is our own desires? I don't know, like sometimes God might put that desire in you, right? God might push you into a direction that God wants, right? And you might be like, oh, I did it, oh, I made it, oh, I am the greatest in this world, I am, oh. And maybe like God, maybe you acquire wealth, right? And you might be like, now I am the G, you know what I mean? I am the best, I am this, I am that, and boom, it creates like an arrogance. But humility under God means that God is responsible for everything in your life, right? And when you are humble under God, and you know that God gave you everything, I mean everything. If God wants, in an instant, boom, boom, heart attack. Huh? Heart attack. You know what I mean? You know how meaningless we are as human beings. How we are nothing without God. And we also need spiritual food, because a lot of people nowadays in the planet Earth, right? All they care about is like the next car, the next pair of shoes, the next clothing, the next piece of tech, the next this, the next that, and bigger and better, and brand, and better restaurant, better this, better food, better that, you know what I mean? And they don't care about like their soul, the food for the soul. And they do not care about their soul, and certainly they do not care about God. And I understand a lot of them, because the word God, it has like a wrong kind of taboo around it, right? Because when you can listen, a lot of people like say God, and somebody might be like stupid or whatever, and he or she like talks about God in their own like brain and how they perceive it, right? And you understand that they live in a low level of spirituality and all that, and you're like, God, you know what I mean? But I mean, like, spiritually wise, in the higher levels of spirituality, you will realize that God is, I cannot explain it, right? And that's why you need to pray, you need to, and seriously, you need, because we are not perfect. Me, I'm not perfect, right? So you need like to ask for forgiveness from God. You need to be thankful for God. Even like I breathe right now, right? You breathe. Have you ever, or have I ever really like sit down and pray to God and thank God because I'm able to breathe and it is free? You know what I mean? Breathing is free. but you never were like, oh, thank you, God, like for giving me another day, and you were never thankful to God. So when you are humble under God and you know that God gave you everything, and you know um, that you are nothing when it comes to God, and God instantly can take everything away from you, right? You do not need to really have the acceptance of low lives and bums. You know what I mean? Idol worshippers. You can tell them whatever, cut them off. You do not need them. Have them away from your life. If they try to come back and all that, because a lot of people they don't have I would not call it pride, but they don't have integrity or something, so they might do wrong things to you. They might try to come back and be like, oh yeah, it was nothing and all that. Fuck off. So walk free, walk beautifully. For once in your life, start loving yourself. And now we go to self-esteem, right? This right here is self-esteem, baby. So, what self-esteem is? Well, self-esteem is for once in my life, right, I'm starting to love myself. And it is all about loving yourself. And what people with low self-esteem do? People with low self-esteem, what they do, first of all, they accept the low life. And when I say the low life, I mean they accept to destroy themselves. They accept to sabotage themselves. And how do they do that? They accept to get addicted into drugs. They accept to get addicted into alcohol. They accept to get addicted into sugar, into bad food habits. They accept to get addicted into pornography. They accept, I'm sorry to say that, but they accept to fall down into... I have went that road, so don't kind of judge me and tell me how can you talk that and all that BS that the modern whatever does. But they have accepted to fall into depression, right? And why they have accepted to fall into those things, into those categories? Well, first of all, it comes from they do not have 1000% trust in God, right? That's why they have all these problems. Their soul, when it comes to food for the soul, when it comes to education for the soul, they are skinny. They live... You might see someone with everything, right? Everything. I mean, materialistic thing, everything, like supercars, everything, villas, whatever, right? But when it comes to soul education, when it comes to food education, they are skinny. They don't have nothing right here, right? So self-esteem, you have to wake up and you have to start loving yourself. Let's say that you are the parent of yourself, and yourself right here is your child. If you had a child, right, a small child, would you feed it all that? Would you feed it would you give it drugs? No. So why do you give yourself drugs? Well, because you want to escape life, right? But you wouldn't do that to a child. And your child is in you, right? The child in you lives in you, and you should start and you should love and take care of who you are right inside, right? And when you get tested with those kind of things, right, you should stop being so acceptable also. Opa. You should also stop being acceptable of people's behavior, right? If somebody disrespects you and you have a low self-esteem, you accept it, right? But if you have a high self-esteem, meaning that you love so much yourself, you're like, oops, shoo, you little parasite. You know what I mean? And never come back in my life. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye Felicia, right? Because you have high self-esteem and you do not care about people and people's judgment or approval or whatever, because you love yourself and you have to love yourself. You have to give love to yourself, and it's not a wrong thing or an egocentric kind of thing. Like people might say, oh, he is like very egocentric, like he loves himself like so much. Of course, you will love yourself so much. What? You will hate yourself and sabotage yourself and then become like the guy who unalived himself, and everyone will be like, oh my god, he was like such a good boy. That's what you are seeking? These low lives empathy? Because let's be honest, right? Half of the society is like a bunch of low lives. And you want their empathy from the bums, from the uneducated idol worshippers. You want their empathy. You want them to be like, oh my god, he's shooting drugs, right? He's like in the street. He's asking like for $1, for €1. He doesn't. He's like an addict. Oh my god. Oh, he was such a good kid. I don't know what happened to him. Oh. That's what you want? For these low lives to say that to you? Don't you love a little bit yourself? Huh? Don't you? Of course you do. And that's what you have to do. You have to love yourself, and you have to stop falling for those things that destroy you. Stop sabotaging yourself, right? Stop being sad. First of all, why are you being sad? Who do you think like they are going like to be like what? The low lives are going to do what? To have empathy for you because you are sad? And they're going to be, oh, we are sorry. They are a bunch of low lives. Are you kidding me? Idol worshippers. When it comes here, they suck. They will die in hell. They will burn themselves in hell. They are far away from here, and they judge you because you have this. And this brings this. Also this right here brings this. And in order for these two, if you don't have that, you don't have also that right here. And if you don't have that right here, right, you don't have that right here. And in order to sustain those two right here so that they can go together, right, being humble under God, loving God, praying to God, right, knowing that God gives you everything, all your success, and God can take all that in an instant, right, that with this one right here, that with the help of God, right, you become unstoppable, you have confidence, you can conquer, you can make your dreams true, right? And these two right here, they get sustained by this, because you love yourself. Because you love yourself, you do not sabotage yourself, you do not accept the sabotage of other people, and you always take care of yourself. And because you take care of yourself and you love yourself, you're able to love other people who deserve your love. Because if you do not love yourself, how will you be able to love other people? If you don't love yourself, how would you be able to love your friend, your parent, your spouse, whatever, like your husband, your wife. How would you be able to, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, right? How would you be able to love your circle, your people, those who really love you? You know what I mean? Not the lowlifes. Who gives an F about the lowlifes? Where were the lowlifes when you were in the darkness? Where were they? They were nowhere to be found. And then once they see you, that you are like here, they are like, wait a second, why isn't he in the comfortable darkness that we want him to be, or her, right? So they try like to pull you there in the darkness, the low lives, the idol worshippers. But they do not know that there is God right here. And you know that. Those theological thugs, they try like to send you here down in the darkness, in the shadows. You have absolute faith to God. God, I love you, God. I love you, God. I love you, God. I love you. You know what I mean? And I also love myself. Loving God, loving yourself, confidence, you conquer your dreams, and you penetrate life. And once you penetrate life, and you help other people to penetrate their life, right? And you help other people to become happy and smile, because everyone in the 21st century, almost everyone, is battling their sadness, their depression, their isolation. They doom scroll their life away, man. And I'm sick and tired of all these low lives that they try to suppress the beautiful energy of life. I'm sick and tired of them. And they are everywhere. Make no mistake. They're all around the world. So yeah, that was it, baby. I can continue, but I think like that was it. The bright triad. And also help. Not those who are the low lives, you know what I mean? Help the ones who are the ones who really are appreciative, and the ones who really are good souls. Your heart, God will tell you who they are. Help, because somebody helped you also. Yes, it was God through them, but they helped you, and with God through you, help back, give back. So, peace and love. Bye.